much for giving me the opportunity to speak on this subject matter of Bhagavata Cosmology. Last week, not last week, like couple of weeks back, um I talked about uh, the appearance of Lord Chaitanya and the importance of his appearance. And basically, we were focusing on the topic that how Lord Chaitanya, according to Srila Rupa Goswami, is he considers him as the most munificent incarnation. And we discussed the reason why he is considered the most munificent incarnation among all the incarnations. So today, with this particular topic, this was the main topic which was there in my mind from long time when I discussed with Amal Purana Prabhu that what topic should I speak on. And he asked me to speak on Lord Chaitanya, so I said, okay, I will take a little detour and introduce the importance of Lord Chaitanya in this particular topic about Bhagavad cosmology. So we'll straight away begin with offering our obeisances to the Guru Parampara, especially Srila Prabhupada, who brought us this knowledge. Um, and he was very kind to give us in his later age and his life come here and provide us this knowledge. So let's offer to prayers to Srila Prabhupada, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the entire Guru Parampara, and take their blessings and begin this journey on discussing the Bhagavad cosmology. My question is, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, 100%. You're audible.
So let's chant together. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's begin this journey on understanding the Bhagavata cosmology. Now, if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, the subject matter of creation is discussed many times, right? Especially starting from canto 2 onwards, canto 2, canto 3, onwards, and especially canto 5, there are so much discussion of the same subject. One thing which Sukadev Goswami was speaking, as well as other thing, is Maharaj Parikshit is leaving his body. But at the time of leaving his body, he's asking this question regarding creation multiple times. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that this question of creation has been asked different in different occasion during those last 7 days of his life. And the reason he gives is that because he wanted to understand whether the creation happens um, in the same way or whether it happens in different ways in different days of Brahmaji. So it's a very vast topic, and we can go as much deep as we want um, to the capacity. I also understand it's not something which is like very easy to understand subject matter. I'll try to make it very simple with illustrations, with the diagrams and all these things, uh, so that it makes sense. And there'll be definitely so many questions you all will have. And I would encourage you to ask as many questions as you think of, or whatever doubts you have. I would like to clarify those um, while this discussion is going on. So feel free to ask questions that will enhance the discussion. So with this, we'll start. In the 11th canto, it is said that just as the rising sun removes darkness of the sky, similarly, this scientific knowledge about cosmic, here it is saying about cosmic annihilations. However, the cosmic creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So this It's not just annihilation, but it's creation and maintenance and annihilation. This, when we understand all these things, it removes all illusory duality from the mind of a serious student. Right? If illusion somehow enters his heart, it cannot remain there. Right? So if you understand this, it really actually helps us in our journey of Krishna consciousness. Now, this journey, when somebody joins ISKCON or any other organization, it's not an easy journey. Journey towards going back home, back to Godhead, is not an easy journey. Certainly not an easy journey, because we are dealing with multiple minds. They are coming all together in an organization. So some point in your life, you will have some kind of troubles. It's not a straightforward journey. Sometimes with this, when this trouble actually hits us, if we have this background in our mind, then it helps us to overcome all the difficulties. And it's like, if we want to go for a vacation, we plan to go to vacation, so you want to know more about that place. So similarly, uh, you know when we want to go back home, back to Godhead, we should know that where we are, where we would like to go. There are so many options where we would like to go. We should know that. And at the same time, what are the different methods available to go, which is the easiest method available to go, what are you going to get, what are we going to see over there, so therefore, this becomes very important for all of us. It's like a map, I- if this map is very clear to us, then it really helps us, um, you know, going from where we are to reach the end goal of our life. So this is so important that Srila Prabhupada considered this as his dream project. So the current Mayapur temple, which we see, the theme of that Mayapur temple is, Prabhupada wanted to create a Vedic planetarium. He said that there has to be one temple, and it should be in such a place that people can visit from time to time and understand this cosmology, as well as how this um, the structure of the universe is. And if we can create some three-dimension model, that will really help the devotees to understand in more depth about the creation of Krishna, and how it is being maintained, right? So this is the idea behind this Temple of Vedic Planetarium, TOVP, and that is a dream project. Srila Prabhupada always wanted to build it. And now with the help of Amrish Prabhu, who is a person who is guiding this particular project, this temple is getting constructed. So in few years, we'll have this Vedic planetarium, and we will be able to go there in Mayapur and see with our own eyes, you know. So while this discussion is going on, I'll be using reference books, and these are certain reference books from where these topics have been assembled or compiled together. Um, and mainly it is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many of the discussion will be also from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Brahma Samhita, and of course Sri Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. So with this, I'll also refer to topics that has been discussed by many contemporary teachers and the gurus of ISKCON, especially commentaries written by His Holiness Danvir Goswami Maharaj, um, and then Bhagavad Cosmology book, which is we have an expert, Pavaneshwar Prabhu. He has written this wonderful book of Bhagavata Cosmology. He discusses in a lot of details about how the things work actually. Also, His Holiness Rompat Swami Maharaj, he gave a class on Sri Brahma Samhita in Seattle in 2014, and that he discusses this particular topic in a great detail. And of course, we are going to also look at the chart, this particular chart you see over here. And this chart was created by His Grace Pavaneshwar Prabhu and his team when Pavaneshwar Prabhu was helped by His Holiness Danvir Goswami Maharaj to build this particular chart. This will be our reference chart throughout the discussion, and we'll discuss various aspects of this chart and how it has been presented to us. We'll go through details of that. There is another book which is written by His Great Sadapota Prabhu, Mysteries of Sacred Universe. So we are also going to look at that particular, some aspects from this particular book. So these are the references. Now everything is presented in this PowerPoint slides, and I'm going to share with all of you. So if you have, after this class, if you have any questions, we'll continue discussing. But later on also, the next week when we begin, and if you have questions, we will discuss those questions in as much detail as possible. So this class is going to be normally, if depending on how much detail you would like me to go. But normally, it takes about 10 to 12 hours. So I don't know how can I squeeze is this subject matter into maybe like a couple of classes. It is very difficult. So I would expect this class to go for at least 5 or 6 sessions, maybe not all together, but in breaks we'll do a couple of now and then later on as time permits with all of you. So like that. Okay, any discussion so far? I'll stop from time to time to ask this, that any discussion, if you have anything, or if you, in the middle of the class, if you feel that I have some question, then just please raise your hand or start speaking. Then I would understand that, you have a question. So let's begin the journey with this. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is right in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, introduction to Bhagavad Gita, which is a 30 pages, one of the masterpiece of how Srila Prabhupada has presented what is there in Bhagavad Gita as well as the other corollary literatures. So, in essence, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan writes that there are 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita that needs to be understood very clearly. If you don't understand these 5 things, there is always some missing links. So what are those 5 things one should understand from Bhagavad Gita? The first thing is talking about is, in Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly given who is God. And Krishna establishes himself as God in Bhagavad Gita in many different places, right? Many different verses. He explains Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, and he establishes his godhood. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada coined a term, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this is very clear in Bhagavad Gita. Right? Then the other topic which is there in Gita is who am I, or the science of soul. So this is basically chapter number 2. Chapter number 2, verse 13 to verse 30, he explains that the conception of soul and the eternality of the soul, that is explained there. And then the third topic he explains, but this is not much detail, is Prakriti, material nature. This is what actually we are going to study. So this piece in details is explained in the Bhagavata Cosmology. He touches some parts of it, but not much. And then he also discusses about karma, the law of karma, and how karma acts on people. So this is the fourth topic, and the fifth topic is Kala, or the time. So these are the 5 topics, and in this particular session, of course, all these things are connected, but we are in detail going to study Prakriti as well as Kala in detail. Right? So this cosmology is detailed discussion of these 2 subjects, these 2. Okay. Now, as we understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the essence of Vedas and Lord Chaitanya's teaching. Lord Chaitanya introduced this conception of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. So the last session which we took, we talked about that Lord Chaitanya came to give a very special aspect of Bhagavan. Right? So the Bhagavan, which the word term Bhagavan is a understanding of one of the aspect of understanding of the absolute truth. So absolute truth can be understood in three different ways or three different phases: Brahmeti or Brahman, or Paramatma, or Bhagavan. So the absolute truth is one, but one can understand one absolute truth as Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Yes, Prabhu. You had a question? You said like, okay. Sorry, I thought like that. Okay. So that aspect is understood through the Vedic literature. However, Lord Chaitanya came and said that Bhagavan is a person. He is a personality. He is a person, and that supreme person is Krishna. And this Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Right? That that person Krishna is Akhila. He is the sum total of all the rasas. Right? He is the sum total of all the rasas. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So this is how also Srila Rupa Goswami, he starts his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by defining Krishna as Akhila Rasamrita Murti. He is the sum total of all the rasas. So this is what we saw in the previous discussion. And that means, Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a person, and he is situated in a place which is the spiritual world, and his place is known as Goloka, Vrindavan. And he is the enjoyer of all different kinds of rasa. In particular, there are like 5 rasas we discussed about that. Right? That is Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, right? Then Vatsalya, and finally is Madhurya. These are different rasas in which a devotee can interact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Krishna. Right? So, in order to interact with Krishna, first we need to understand who is Krishna. So that is the Sambandha Gyan. Right? And then, in order to establish the relationship, there is a process which is Abhideya, and that process is the process of bhakti, and the ultimate goal is prema. So prema prayojana, right? So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see this particular verse is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 6, 178. It says that Bhagavan Sambandha Bhakti Abhideya hoy, prema prayojana vede teen sasta ko hai, teen vastu ko hai. So this is the subject matter of Vedas. Veda is discussing these 3 things: Bhagavan Sambandha, Bhakti Abhideya, and Prema Prayojan. Right? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. This is the goal. This is the process in which we can how to attain the goal. And before starting this process, one has to understand the relationship between Bhagavan and ourselves. Right? So this is the Sambandha Gyan. And this is very nicely put by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as Dasamula Tattva. Dasa means 10. Mula is basically root or the truth. So truth is Tattva. Truth is Tattva. And these are the 10 esoteric truth of the Vedas. So this is why he is calling it as a Dasamula Tattva. So what are thus the 10 is here, if you see I have put the numbers. The first one is called as Pramana, from where the subject matter or how do we receive this knowledge. Right? So that is the Pramana. And what is the knowledge? So that is Prameya. Right? So there are, in this Dasamula, there are two parts. Part number 1 is Pramana, and part number 2 is Prameya. So this is 1 and this is 2. And this Prameya again is divided into 1, 2 and 3. Right? So first is Sambandha, second is Abhideya, third is Prayojana. Right? Does it make sense? Okay. So this is Dasamula Tattva, and in short, this Prameya, which is divided into 3, Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. The number 2 to number 8 is Sambandha Gyan. Right? So we will revisit this. I'm just giving a very high level understanding. And then the number 9 is talking about the Abhideya, and number 10 is talking about the Prayojana, which is the goal, right? So these esoteric truths are such that I'll just sketch this, okay? So these esoteric truths are, the first one is the Pramana, that it is the teachings of the Vedas, which is talking about, which is coming to us through the Guru Parampara, and then that is actually giving us this knowledge of the Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. So this first Parama Tattva is that Sri Hari or Lord Krishna alone is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Supreme Absolute Truth. And then it is talking about the different potencies of Lord Krishna. And the third one, if you see again here, is Akhila Rasamritavid. Right? He is the ocean of all nectarian mellows. Right? And then it is talking about the living entities and the conditioned living entities and all these things in detail. So these are the 10 different esoteric truths which Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur explains in his Dasamula Tattva. This contains all the details which we are going to study, and then we are going to revisit this particular slide and understand that, all of the things are covered, right? Now, there are different acharyas, like Lord Chaitanya, when he came, he had discussion with 5 prominent personalities, right? So one of the personalities is Srila Sanatan Goswami. In Madhya Leela, you will find those discussion between Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Sanatan Goswami. So part of this discussion will be from that discussion which happened between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatan Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote himself, he's had a discussion with his disciples, basically disciples, not like right away disciples, but they are, he had discussion with Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, then Prakash Ananda Saraswati, then he had discussion with Sarup Damodar, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So, but from all those discussions, we are going to focus on these 3 particular topics, which is Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. And Srila Sanatan Goswami is considered as the Acharya of Sambandha Gyan. Similarly, the process to go back was established by Srila Rupa Goswami, and the book which is establishing that process which he wrote is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion. Right? So he, Srila Rupa Goswami, in his book Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu discusses about Suddha Bhakti, the process. And there here, he bifurcates that process of bhakti into Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. So basically Sadhana Bhakti is nothing but bhakti in its practice. So both Vaidhi as well as both Raganuga are bhakti in its practice phase. right? It is not the perfected stage. Bhakti at its practice level, right? And then Prayojan Acharya is Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, right? So what is the real goal? He is Acharya of that. He explains in this book Manas Shiksha that what is the prayojan, what is the goal, right? So Krishna Priti, or love of Krishna, is the highest goal. That is the final goal we want to attain in the spiritual realm, right? But it can be practiced here in the material realm. Okay. So mainly, as I said, this discussion, what we are going to do is from Madhya Leela, chapter number 20. I'll give you the exact verses and you can refer yourself those verses. So Lord Chaitanya instructs over here about the absolute truth to Sanatana Goswami. So now let's start the journey, and we'll start with this picture. This is a very nice diagram. I am a kind of person who likes to learn with the pictures, so therefore you will see a lot of pictures. Visual person, so that makes sense to me. So here we see the picture which is on the left side. So this particular portion is the entire existence, right? So there are two words which we are going to use. One is existence, other is creation. Creation indicates maintenance, as well as creation indicates destruction. So when you just use the term creation, something is created means it is also maintained and it is also destroyed after some time. So this portion, if you see, this 1/4 portion, this is the material realm. And this is created, maintained, and it is annihilated. This cycle keeps on going, right? Whereas this portion, which is 3/4 of the portion, is a spiritual world, right? Or in other words, this is Vaikuntha, right? Now, Vaikuntha is, when the term Vaikuntha is used, it can be understood as the entire thing as Vaikuntha, or this portion is also called as Vaikuntha. So when we say entire portion is Vaikuntha, means anything beyond this realm is Vaikuntha. But Vaikuntha in specific term, this part is the Vaikuntha and this part is Goloka. Okay. So in this picture, this is Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna lives, and this things which are you can see here is shown as Vaikuntha, and this portion is the material realm, right? Which is created, annihilated. It's like that. Created, maintained, annihilated, like that. Okay. So basically, this particular slide is talking about that the entire existence is, if you see it as a whole, then 3/4 of that is the spiritual world and 1/4 is the material world, right? Now, this portion is unlimited. So everything is kind of unlimited. This is also kind of unlimited to our understanding, the capacity in which we understand it. It's like unlimited for us, because as we go deeper, we'll understand more details. Then it'll feel like unlimited. But however, this is limited and this portion is unlimited. Yeah. So infinite, right? Like that. Okay. Moving forward. Now, Krishna has various energies, and this is the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, Hare Krishna. Okay. Uh, so, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 6th chapter 154, it's saying Vishnu Sakti Para Prokta Kshetra Sektagya Tatha Para. So, the essence of this particular picture is that Krishna has different, unlimited, different kinds of energies. So Krishna is energetic and he has energies. Right? So Shakti and Shaktiman. Shaktiman is a person who is possessor of, he possesses Shakti. So that Shaktiman is Krishna, and he has Shaktis. He has different energies. However, that energy can be categorized into two. One is spiritual, other is material, right? And this spiritual is superior energy, material is inferior energy, right? So this material world which we saw in the previous picture is the external energy, is considered as external energy or Bahiranga Shakti of Krishna. That is the material world. And then this internal can be again divided into Antaranga and Tatastha. So this Tatastha is the living entities, which is us, and the Antaranga is his internal energy, right? So this is how the classifications are. Now you can classify in different ways. This is one kind of classification. Again, this internal energy is divided into three actually. One is Sandhini, and then other is Samvit, and third is Ladini, right? So this Sandhini is also sometimes known as Sat, and Samvit is known as Chit, and Ladini or Ananda potency is the third one. So you must have heard this term Sachidananda, right? So Sachidananda is nothing but Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So Sat means it's a existential potency. Over here, I have written this term existential potency, right? The material and the spiritual world exist. We see things around us, right? Things exist around us. So this is the existential potency, energy of Krishna. So this is eternal, and the spiritual world is also exists eternally. Material world exists, it exists for a long time. However, it is created, maintained, and it is destroyed at some point of time. Then again, it is recreated. So this creation happens eternally, right? It is going on eternally. Then the second potency of Krishna, this is the Chit potency of Krishna, which gives the knowledge, right? It gives knowledge about to Krishna about himself and everyone else, right? And similarly, the Chit potency also gives the living entities or us knowledge about Krishna, right? And the third potency is the Ladini potency. And Srimati Radharani is the controller of this Ladini potency, right? So Srimati Radharani is the Ladini Shakti Murti, right? If you see over here, she is the Ladini Shakti Murti. And this is the bliss giving potency. The Krishna has tendency to enjoy, right? So this enjoyment he derives from this particular potency of Ladini, right? Similarly, we also derive happiness or bliss through this Ladini potency, right? Now, when this Ladini potency is experienced in the spiritual world, it gives the experience of the pure love of Godhead. Whereas when we um, experience this Ladini potency in this material world, it is the adulterated love of the Godhead. So this is the understanding, in short, understanding of the different energies or Shaktis of Krishna. So why we brought up this slide over here? The reason is that everything is actually Krishna's Shakti. Everything is happening around us by energies of Krishna or energy which has been bestowed upon somebody by Krishna, and then they perform those tasks. Okay. So now we look into or dive into this particular region. And this region in the spiritual world is called as Goloka Vrindavan, right? This is the Goloka Vrindavan. And this, as I said, this is all actually Vaikuntha. But within Vaikuntha, again, there is Goloka as well as there is Vaikuntha realm. So this is the Goloka Vrindavan. where actually Krishna resides with his devotees, right? And he is there in this realm eternally, right? He is there in this realm eternally. So now I will go into these two different pictures. I'll keep it open because this chart has a lot of details, and I am sure you must have seen this chart, or some of you might be even knowing this chart. But we can this I'm using this chart separately because then you can zoom in and go into details and see. So therefore I'll be using this particular chart. At the same time, I'll be using this one because this chart is also similar with one. There is an error in this particular chart, and I'll show when it comes. When time comes, I'll show what is how this chart is not representing everything perfectly. So here, this realm is the realm of Goloka, and this is Vaikuntha Loka. So if you see, this is Vaikuntha Loka. These are different expansions of Narayan, and this is Goloka Vrindavan with the central corolla, right? The Toyota Corolla, right? So this word is corolla, so the centerpiece of the lotus. So this region is Goloka Vrindavan region. Or if we go to the other diagram, then this part is the corolla. So the shape of the Goloka Vrindavan is like lotus with these lotus petals, right? And each of these petal is indicating the dham of those particular devotees. So if you are seeing over here, you see over here in the center piece, which is a corolla, is um, Shri Radha Gopinath, right? And then these petals you see here, Lalita Devi's petal. This is Vishaka Devi's, Suchitra, Induleka. These are the Ashta Sakhis of Srimati Radharani. And then when this whole thing is um, represented on a piece of paper, so not paper actually, it is piece of metal. When you will see in temples, when you visit certain temples, you will see something called as yantra. Uh, sorry. Yantra. So yantra is nothing but it is the representation of the Goloka Vrindavan in like 2 dimensions on a piece of paper. So that is yantra. So you will see this kind of structures, right? I mean, you're here, if you see there are, it's like a star kind of thing, right? So this is nothing but this is yantra, or the physical is represented on 2 dimensions. That is yantra. So again, these are uh, the petals indicating the dham of Lalita Devi, Vishaka Devi. So if you go to, let's say you go to Vrindavan, then you will see that there is villages of Lalita Devi, Vishaka Devi. So they meet together for a pastime, but then they have their own residence also. So that's how we understand this. So similarly, here you will see Rupa, that is residence of Shri Rupa Goswami, who is Rupa Manjari. So all our Goswamis, they are like Manjari, right, in the spiritual realm. Then there is Rati Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, and so on. So you can go open this diagram and go closer and have a look of the discussions of, and then you'll somewhere also see Srila Prabhupada also is there. So he's also coming from the spiritual world. So this is about the region of Goloka Vrindavan. We'll go into a very high level understanding of these regions, and then we'll go deeper into this one by one. Okay. And here is Svetadvip. This white region, if you see, is Svetadvip, where Lord Chaitanya is his and his associate, they reside in the Shvetadip region. Also, you will see over here very you can see the borders. Here is Mathura, Jagannath Puri, then Dwarka, like that. So in the spiritual world, these are different realms, and their counterparts are also there in this material realm. You will see Mathura, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Mayapur. So Shvetadip is Mayapur, basically, in India, right? In the eastern part of India. And then when we come down, this is the Vaikuntha realm. So in the Vaikuntha realm, in the corolla of the Vaikuntha realm is Bhagwan Sriman Narayan, right? So this is Sriman Narayan. He is in the center corolla piece of it, and then he is being served by the Lakshmis, Bhudevi, Leela Devi, Lakshmi Devi herself, right? So like that, and then he is also served by the Garuda. So here you see Garuda, and then you'll see over here Kurma, and then Vikshasena, right? And like that. So he is being served by all these things, and then again, then there is different uh, portions of the Vaikuntha realm in which you will see so many. This each of these are the realm of different Vishnu tattvas. Like for you guys, you'll see that this is Vasudeva, right? Then these are Matsya, Kurma, right? Kanti, Aniruddha, Rati, Pradyumna, Sridhara, Saraswati, right? Sankarshan, Lakshmi. So they have their own planets. We can understand like that. They have their own planets. Kurma, Indra, Chandra, Kalki. So like that. Not everything is given here. Some of the prominent ones are given. So like that, this is the region of the Vaikuntha realm. And below that is over here, if you see, is the region of Lord Shiva. This is also in the spiritual realm. So this is called as Sadashiva Loka. The other diagram is actually more clear. So this is the Goloka Vrindavan realm. This is the Vaikuntha realm. And below that is in the border of the material and spiritual world, there is Kailasha. Now, this Kailasha is where Lord Shiva resides. Now, which Shiva? So, there are many multiple Shiva. So, this is the Vishnu Tattva Shiva. This is the Vishnu Tattva Shiva. He is in the border of the material and spiritual world. And this region is called as Kailasha. And then there is Brahma Jyoti, which separates the material. So, this is a spiritual realm. The whole thing is spiritual realm. And this is material realm. And the Brahma Jyoti is the separation between the material and the spiritual realm. Right? The what is Brahma Jyoti? Brahma Jyoti is nothing but it's the effulgence of Krishna's body. It's not only Krishna, there are so many expansions of Krishna. They all have effulgence. Like we also have effulgence actually. We can measure our effulgence, that is called as aura. Technically, you can measure our aura. We can measure our aura scientifically. Somebody who is very spiritually qualified, their aura is completely different than the somebody who is a materialist. So this effulgence which is coming out of Krishna's body is the Brahma Jyoti. Right? And this Brahma Jyoti is in the area of Brahma Jyoti is where the creation happens. So this is the part where there is creation, there is maintenance, and there is annihilation that is continuously going on. So this is a region where you will see there is this region is the material world. right? And we'll go into details of all these things. So far, is it clear? Any questions, any doubts? Okay. I assume, that you are understanding. So this is again going to my main slides. This is talking about Golokadham, the characteristics of Golokadham. Golokadham is Chintamani Dham, and there you will find so many things, but these are prominent things which you can find. It is like Surabhi cows, then there are desired trees, and Krishna is enjoying with his associates in this particular region. And then again going through this. Um, so this particular site talks about that in the Goloka realm, as we go up, right, as we go up from Vaikuntha, or as we go up from here to here, as we are going up like this is the material realm, this is Vaikuntha, this is Goloka. So as we are going up, what is happening is that the Aishwarya is decreasing and the Madhurya is increasing. Right? So in Goloka, everything is at the level of Madhurya, right? Unconditional love towards Lord, the Godhead. Here, you will see more Aishwarya. As we go down, you will see more Aishwarya. They see the devotees over there are attracted to the Aishwarya feature of the Supreme Lord. Whereas in the Goloka region, it is more towards the expression of love towards Krishna that is expressed in different ways. So this is how the Madhurya is increasing as we go up and Aishwarya is decreasing. And as we come down, Aishwarya is increasing, Madhurya is decreasing. Right? So this region, the Vaikuntha region, has also a specific name which is Haridham. Right? So if you see, this is where it's written Haridham. In this diagram, this is Haridham, this is Goloka Vrindavan, and over here somewhere is Mahesha Dham, and this is Devi Dham. This is controlled by Devi or Durga Devi in particular. She is controlling this particular region. So therefore it is called as Devi Dham. So this is Haridham or Vaikuntha Dham. Here the Lord, the form of the Lord is very majestic, and devotees over here are attracted to this particular form of the Lord. Right? Not everybody likes to eat, sweets. Somebody likes to even eat, spicy things. I'm just giving a random example that everyone has attraction towards different things. There is no kind of higher or lower. They have attraction for different things. So they have attraction. They love seeing Lord as a king. Right? Right? However, in Goloka Vrindavan, they want to see Krishna as a friend. So Krishna reciprocates with everyone in a way in which we like. Somebody likes him as a king, then he'll present himself as a king. Somebody wants him as a friend, he will become our friend. Right? Or if somebody wants to see Krishna as a lover, then he will reciprocate accordingly. Right? So this is the Vaikuntha Dham. And this is Devi Dham. This is where we are. And in this particular diagram, you see that this is the Brahmanda. This one unit is called as Brahmanda. Right? And this is there in the Devi Dham. So this region, this whole thing is created again and again. It's eternal. It is going on. So we are going to start with, probably in the next session, we are going to start going into details of how this creation happens. Very superficially, we are going to see in Bhagavatam, there is so much details given. is impossible to cover even in 1 year course, if you that much detail is given. So we will try to cover as much as possible within whatever sessions we can cover it. But we will start with the creation which is around us. How is that created, maintained, and annihilated again and again, right? So many new things you are going to come across. Just try to grasp the things at the very superficial level, and then as we go down, they will see many different things, and whatever level you want to understand, we'll try to do that, right? Okay, so Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is explained in the Madhya Lila, chapter 20, verse 165 onwards. I've put the reference over here. So here, these are explaining different forms of the Lord, right? Krishna is one, but he expands into many different forms. So these are all technical terms, and from time to time you will hear Vilasa form, Avesha form, and all these things. This picture I will not go into details, but I'm just trying to give you an understanding of that Krishna has innumerable forms, and those innumerable forms have some purpose. Right? Why there are so many forms? Because each of the form has certain different purpose, right? However, the original form of Krishna, this is called as Swayam Rupa. This is the original form, right, of Krishna. Prabhupada gives the example of that Krishna is like the candle, and there are many other candles, but that one candle, which is Krishna, he lights all the other candles. So technically, all the other candles are looks same as that one candle which is lighting them. But still, that one candle is lighting all the other candles. So that candle which is lighting all the other candles, that is actually Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. Right? That is Swayam Rupa form of Krishna. And then he expands himself for different reasons. Right? So that Rup, we will call it as Swayam Rupa Krishna. Right? And then that same Krishna actually comes in this material world. So he is there in the gold. When he comes in the material realm, it's not that the Krishna is absent over there. The same person, he can expand himself. So those forms are called as Prakasha form, Swayam Prakasha. So when Krishna comes, along with him, his entire paraphernalia will also come. Like the Vrindavan Dham will come, all his associates will come. Right? So that particular expansion is called as Swayam Prakash. Krishna's form is Swayam Prakash. Right? Again, that Swayam Prakash is again divided into Prabhava Prakash and Vaibhava Prakash. So we are not going to go into details, but understand that when Krishna descends in this world, he is also present in the spiritual world, as well as the same Krishna with the same potency is there in this material realm simultaneously. And it's not only one um, universe is there. He is there simultaneously in multiple universes. So there is nothing that is impossible for Krishna. Again, um, Swayam Rupa form, this is the original personality of Godhead, and then Tadekatma Rupa and Avesha Rupa. Again, all this different forms of Lord is explained in this particular picture. I will skip all these things and then come to this particular portion, which is the creation of this material universe. We will start actually from there. So when Krishna comes in this material realm, um, the first thing that comes is this particular form, and we'll go into this diagram is very small. However, we'll try to understand uh, that this particular form of Krishna starts the creation. So the expansions of Krishna, which are responsible for creation, they are called as Purusha avatars. Right? And then there are three types of Purusha avatars. One is Karanadakshay Vishnu, second is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, third is Shirodakshay Vishnu. Right? So these three Vishnus, we have heard that this Vishnu is one. However, here when we go into more details, we understand that there are multiple Vishnus. Right? But among them, there are this category of Vishnu which is called as Purusha avatars. So there are various categories of avatars. In particularly, there are like 6 categories of avatars. And yeah. So this diagram talks about that there is Swayam Rupa Krishna, and then there are his expansions, and we would like to focus on this 6 categories of avatars. One of the category of avatar is Purusha avatar. And this Purusha avatars in particular are these 3: Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. So what are these 6 categories? First one is Leela avatar. Second is Purusha avatars. Third is Guna avatars. Fourth is Satyavesh avatars. Fifth is Manvantar avatars. And sixth is Yuga avatar. So Lord Chaitanya is Yuga avatar. Lord Chaitanya is Yuga avatar. And then when the Manvantars occur, there are Manvantar avatars. What is Manvantar? We will go into details in the next session. Then Shaktiavesh avatar means Krishna empowers some living entities with his different potencies. Right? So these are Shaktiavesh avatars like 4 Kumaras, Narada, Brahma, Anantashesh, Prithu Maharaj, Parshuram. These are Shaktiavesh avatars. Right? And then there are Guna avatars. There are 3 gunas: Rajogun, Satogun, and Tamogun. Right? So there are avatars for that which are controlling those gunas. So these are Guna avatars. And we already saw the Purusha avatars. These Purusha avatars are responsible for the process of creation and maintenance. Right? The creation and maintenance are done by these Purusha avatars. And then finally we see Leela avatars. They're coming here to perform the pastimes. Like Matsya, Kurma, Lord Rama, Narsingadev, Krishna himself, Vamana, Varaha, and all these things. So these are the different categories of avatars. But we are going to start with the material creation of this material creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material realm. We'll go deeper into that first. We'll understand that first, and then we'll go to Vaikuntha and Goloka. Now we have this understanding of that particular picture with the top. In the top is the yeah, so this region is the Goloka region. This is the Vaikuntha region or Haridham. And then we have Mahesh Dham over here, where Lord Shiva resides. And then finally we have this material realm where we are, right? So this creation, maintenance, and annihilation is done by the Purusha avatars, the 3 Purusha avatars, Karanadakshay Vishnu, which you see over here. And then we'll see Garbhodakshay Vishnu, which is here. And then we also have the Shirodakshay Vishnu. So how the creation happens, how it begins, how the maintenance happens, this is all things we are going to say in the next session. So it's already 6:38. I'm sorry, we are like 10 minutes late, but I'll stop here. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak on this subject matter. Any questions?